welcome, and yes, it is again that time of year. It is time for our season recap and off-season preview of year number 3 with the Villanova Wildcats. As you can see, we ended the season number 3, 12-1, only one blemish. And we'll take a look at it now. Here we go. We started the season against Boston College. We actually ended the season at number 10 in the country. It was a very exciting game. Down to the wire, we beat them 42-38. They ended the season 12-2. Boise State, who started ranked as well. They were ranked top 15. We shellacked them 42-17. They ended 3-9 though, so obviously wasn't meant to be a good season for them. We then beat Ohio, who ended the season 7-6. We beat them 31-10. Then we beat Maryland on the road as well. They only ended the season 4-8, so they weren't a very good ball club, but we beat them by one touchdown, 56-49, in another barn burner. Then we took on Houston, a team who generally has our number every season. We were able to beat them 45-42 by a field goal, another barn burner, another nail biter, and they ended the season 10-4. They were a good team. Also a good team, USF at 8-5. They finished the season. We usually beat them every year. They gave us harder time this season as we had to go into overtime to knock them off, but we were able to do that. So you can see only 2 of these games were real big decisions so far. Boise State and Ohio were the only 2 that we beat by multiple possessions. Then in the Memphis game, another team that wanted to give us a hard time. We were on the road, and we only won by one possession there, and they only won one game all season. I wonder who it was against, but we'll take a look in a minute. Then we took on Cincinnati, who actually ended the season number 5 in the country. We took a big-time L to them by 30 points. They always have our number, and they did it again to us this season, knocking us off and causing us to not have a conference championship game. We were able to beat UCF by multiple possessions. They ended the season 9-4. We always have a kind of easy time with UCF and USF. We usually don't have any trouble with the Florida teams. Temple, we have had trouble with in the past, but we were able to win that game for the Battle of Philadelphia at home in that one. They were 8-5 on the season. We beat them by a field goal and won that one. Then against UConn, that was a real sweater as we were losing this one huge in the first half, found a way to close the gap at the end of the half, and took them in the second half by just 1 point. It was a game they really had a chance at and really probably should have won. They ended 3-9 on the season, and we could have lost to that team. And we had a bye, and then we took on ECU on the road, a team that finished 0-12, and we treated them like a team that was 0-12, finally playing the way we should against that kind of competition. We really should have done that to teams like Memphis and UConn, and we weren't able to do it then. So we showed our real grit in this game and our real dominance in this game, which I know that we had on offense. It just wasn't there against the other teams. Then we finished with 2 byes, obviously had a conference championship game, and then you guys saw yesterday the bowl game, the Orange Bowl against Georgia, the true thriller. We were able to get the victory against the Georgia Bulldogs in dramatic fashion, and it really was our defense that was able to help us out. The interceptions were key. The offense was sputtering early. The defense kept us in the ball game late in the game and gave us opportunities to be able to win, and we were able to pull it off as Villanova plays one bowl game, wins one bowl game so far in their 3 seasons. Alright, checking out the final top 25 polls. TCU obviously beats Oregon in the national title game 31-17, so TCU wins the national title. Texas number 2 in the country. We finish at number 3 in the country. Oregon goes back to number 4. Cincinnati goes up to number 5, so they won their bowl game as well. Mid-Tennessee State at number 6, Miami, Washington, Florida State, and Boston College rounding out the top 10. Let's see if we see anything else. Georgia, whom we beat at number 13. Air Force is at 14. So that's pretty interesting. Arkansas State, UL Monroe at 21 and 22, and Wyoming, number 25 in the country. All right, as we mentioned before, Myles Gaskin, your Heisman winner, and probably because he did not play in a conference championship game, Malik Dupree losing out in the Heisman race as a sophomore. So he will definitely have a chance, as Myles Gaskin's now a senior, so he will be gone. Malik Dupree has got to be the favorite in his junior season. These two guys are seniors. The only one that can give him competition is Travis Johnson, and that is if he comes back and does not go pro. All-Americans, we're going to take a look. First team All-NCAA. There's Malik Dupree with Myles Gaskin. Malik Dupree's listed first, so I'm going to say he's better. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, you know that's not how it works. But we do also get Mike Palmer and Brandon Henderson and Gordon Golden, the two safeties who came in as junior JUCOs, are going to leave as senior first All-NCAA All-Americans. Second team All-American, we don't have any. Freshman All-Americans, Vasu, the freshman red shirt, gets the All-NCAA Freshman All-America, as well as Brian Gates and Todd Gray, who played extremely well in their freshman seasons. Then we have Corey Washington's going to get a Freshman All-America, as well as Jesse Robertson, who made some big interceptions, especially in that bowl game. He was huge. Taking a quick peek at our championship contender outlook. We were number 3 this season, nowhere near expected to do that. 2016, they've got us as 69 in the country. Somehow I think they're going to be wrong. 2017, number 25, and 2018, number 9 in the country for an A- championship contender grade. Who do they have as the best team in the country, you might ask? Well, I don't see them here in 2016. Where is that team? Here it is, LSU. They are predicting to be the number 1 team in 2016. 2017, they have as Texas. And 2018, you can see down here, they have it as Auburn. Looking at the award winners, Maxwell goes to Johnson of Oregon. The Walter Camp, though, goes to Malik Dupree, who had 1,300 yards, 20 touchdowns, as well as 614 receiving and 5 touchdowns. Hell of a season for the man. The Bednarik goes to Mike Palmer, who had 12 sacks from the corner position. He was a blitzing corner a lot, 78 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, an amazing season from him. Gordon Golden also on there with 84 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, and 3 picks. And then Brandon Henderson with 2 tackles for a loss, but 4 pick sixes. The Nagurski goes to Palmer as well. The O'Brien Sharma's 5th on the O'Brien Award list. He had 3,369 yards, 200 yards on the ground, 36 total touchdowns. Stock still at 51, so I can agree with him being there. The Walker goes to Malik Dupree. The Biletnikoff, Todd Gray was the closest, 615 and 10 touchdowns. That's not going to beat these guys with 1,000. J.D. Hernandez, 2nd place for the Mackey Award. Will have another chance next year. 788 yards, 6 touchdowns on the year. And Nakia Griffin of Rutgers wins it with 833 yards, 10 touchdowns, so I can agree again on him being there. Nobody for the Outland. Nobody for the Winnington. Our offensive line wasn't the best. Lombardi barely lost by Corey Washington. Had 6 sacks on the season. All these guys had more, I can agree. Linebacker, we have no one. The Thorpe is won by Palmer. Henderson and Golden are on there, as well as our new JUCO sophomore, Joey Blair, who had 6 sacks and a touchdown as well, picking up a fumble. start with awards. Let's check out the bowl results on the season. San Diego State over SMU. UCF wins their bowl game. Houston wins their bowl game. So our conference not doing too bad. They're 2-1 so far. There it is, TCU 31-17 over Oregon for the national title. All right, season stats for your Wildcats. There's Vasu. He was 63% on the season. Wilson was 55%, so the better quarterback was playing, just so you guys know. Vasu, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks. Wilson, 9 touchdowns and 3 picks. And this is only going to get better with these two. They're going to continue to grow together, probably continue to play together. Dupree, 1,342 yards, 20 touchdowns on the ground. The guy had 520-plus yards and 4 broken tackles on the season with 0 fumbles, just so you know. Vasu had 5 fumbles. Wilson had 2 fumbles. Even Gates had a fumble. Malik Dupree never fumbled the football. 200 yards running for Vasu with 3 touchdowns. Russo barely saw the field as a senior, 61 yards and a touchdown. Wilson had 78 yards. Receiving, Gates led in receptions. Hernandez was right there. Dupree, George, Gray, all right there. Very good spread between those guys. Hodge lost out a little bit. Very sorry for Hodge. As a senior, he didn't have a big year, but all these guys were outshining him. And then Gates with 894, 788, 614, 617, 615. Hodge got 412 out of 18 catches, which is the best average of all the big-time receivers. Covington only got in for 7 catches, but he made them count with 3 touchdowns out of 7 catches. 5 touchdowns out of 18 for Hodge, 10 out of 30 for Gray, so a third of the time he touched the ball, he was in the end zone. 4 out of 31 for Travis George, 5 out of 39 for Dupree. 6 out of 46 for Hernandez, and then 9 out of 50 for Gates. Blocking, Chenga Hodge had 4 pancakes, so he was a big part of the offense, more than you guys even would think. George with 3 pancakes as well. Covington with 1 pancake, and he was barely on the field. Malik Dupree, though, he gave up 3 sacks on the season without getting a pancake. Dumas gave up a sack without getting a pancake. I mean, you can't be giving up this many sacks without getting pancakes. Rob Smith, the freshman, he'll learn. Here's another one. DeMarcus Bates, freshman, he'll learn. Javon Causey, a sophomore, he should learn. And Patrick Lawler, a sophomore, he should learn. So the line, very young. We're looking for them to learn. The guys that didn't give up a sack and had a bunch of pancakes were junior, receiver, sophomore, senior receiver, junior center. I mean, most of them had some age on them. Okay, looking at the defensive side of the ball, tackles are a little boring to look at, but Golden and Palmer and Henderson were a big part of it. A lot of guys getting into the second and third level, and these guys had to come up and make plays. Also, Palmer did a lot of blitzes, so he had the most tackles for loss on the entire team. Corey Washington as well, Javonte Johnson, Blair, also with those other side corner blitzes. Those 2 guys were the blitzers. And Hansford, the middle linebacker, for up the middle things. Palmer had 12 sacks. We talked about that earlier. Javonte Johnson had 6. Washington had 6. Blair had 6. Wiley had 4. Detrell Reed had 2. And then 1 from pretty much all those guys up to Hansford. Interceptions, 7 for Brandon Henderson. 7 interceptions. 5 for Jesse Robertson, the freshman, and we look for him to come on big next season. We are really going to miss Brandon Henderson, by the way. Gordon Golden, we're going to miss him as well. He had 3 interceptions. Jamal McCoy, the sophomore, he didn't really do a ton in his freshman season, but he was much better this season. 2 interceptions. We look for him to continue to improve upon that. He's going to be a big part of the defense next year. Hansford will be a junior next year. He will be a big part of the defense. He had 1 sack, 1 interception. We look for him as a middle linebacker to improve upon that as well. Forced fumbles. We had 2 by Palmer, 1 by Siegel, 1 by Williams, 1 by Gormley, and 1 by Golden. Recoveries. We had 2 by Johnson, 1 by Henderson, 1 by Blair, 1 by Williams, and 1 by McCoy. Blocks, we didn't have any. Safeties, we didn't have any. Henderson had 4 defensive touchdowns, and Blair picked up a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Henderson, 4 defensive touchdowns. I cannot tell you how much we're going to miss this man. All right, looking at the kicker, it is Shane Coker, and he will be a junior next season. 11 out of 13. He only missed 2 field goals. No extra points. 66 out of 66. Perfect there. The only field goals he missed was 1 from 40 to 49 yards and 1 from 50 plus. 15 touchbacks on kickoffs. Punting, a 41.3 average for Brian, however only a 33.5 net return average, and that's because punt returns against us were actually pretty good. Kick returning, 25.8 average for Henderson, 1,000 yards. And then an 11 average on punt return with 232 yards. No touchdowns for him, but still very valuable. Here's your season in review. Now it's time for the offseason preview. Let's go ahead and take a look at the guys that we have already gotten. Aaron Lane, an 81 overall athlete. I guess they're saying receiver because he can catch in traffic, route run, yeah, all that stuff is good on him. Carrying, stiff arm, break tackle, trucking, 88 speed. Yeah, he's either probably going to be a receiver or a halfback. We probably don't have a choice there. Then we have Joey Woods, who is going to be an outside linebacker, 80 overall, 81 speed. He is going to figure to be a big part of our defense coming in at an 80 overall. Then we have Adam Sanders, a +5 gen athlete with 90 speed. He has some coverage skills, so we are definitely probably going to use him in the secondary to replace either Henderson or Golden probably. Cornelius Williams is a +3 athlete. He has 88 speed. He has very good coverage. Is very good man, very good zone. Another guy that we could use in the secondary. Kevin Rivero is a 77 +6 gen athlete, 89 speed. He has some decent coverages, but he's better with his catching and his route running and his release. He probably figures more as a receiver. He is 6'5", so he could be another freakish receiver for us. Let me just see what Aaron Lane is. Aaron Lane is 6'2", so we will have all guys 6'2" or taller if we use those 2 guys to replace people like Covington and Hodge. Then we have Daniel Carlton, who is a 92 speed receiver, and he is just a pure receiver with very good jumping and very good speed, and he's 6'2", so all huge guys. Then we get tackle Matt Sanders, a 75 overall, definitely going to help our offensive line. Then we get Trey Campbell on defensive end. He will definitely help out the defensive line. Then we get Billy Chavis. Is he a JUCO? He is not. He is just a 6-foot-tall gem corner with 93 speed. We can definitely use him in the secondary. Derek Newby, a gem tackle at 74 overall, +6. Walter Joseph, a gem guard at +7 overall, 73. John Turner, a +5 gem of an athlete who is probably going to figure to be a wideout or a running back or something of the like. Alan Downing is a -1 defensive tackle, but he'll definitely help the defensive line anyway. Austin Skaggs is a subscriber recruit, so I did not put anything in as far as scouting on him. So he is what he is, but we got him. Tim McKenzie, 100% scout. He's a 71 free safety. We can use him. Todd Robertson's a +3, 70 defensive end. Brad McConnell is a 66 overall, +2. He just decided to jump on board. That takes care of the recruits that have already committed to the school. We have 17 of them already committed to Villanova. looking like a pretty decent class so far. Now on to the guys that we do not quite have yet. We're in the lead on Rick Maxwell. He's the number 2 quarterback in the country. I don't know that I particularly need him, but it'd be nice to have the number 2 quarterback in the country as a redshirter, right? Wouldn't it? I mean, he's a 79 overall, 92 throw power, 85 accuracy. It'd be nice to have him. I don't know that we'll put points into him. We have Hack Sutton, who is a subscriber recruit, and right now he's not leaning anywhere. We're number 7, and we're only 590 out. We just put him on a couple weeks ago. Could use the kicking help. Both of our kicking and punting will be juniors next season, so could use him. Brian Johnson, I absolutely love. This guy's a 5'10" JUCO corner, but you saw what Brandon Henderson did for us this season. JUCOs can really have good seasons for us. And this guy has 95 speed, 96 acceleration. And he's got 90 zone coverage. I might move him to safety and user him like I did with Henderson a lot this year and Golden a lot this year. So he could definitely be our next dude. Then we have Tyler McCoy. We're 890 out on him. He's a 6'6" guard, and he is a 73+6 gem. I would love to have this guy. He's kind of even between run and pass block. I mean, he's not completely even, but he's even enough for me. I would love to shove some points into this guy and get a nice freshman guard in here. Paul Vincent, I'm not that excited about. He's a 4-star wide receiver. We are in the lead on him, but he's only 86 speed, and he doesn't really jump that high either, and he's really only 6'1", and we have other good wide receiver prospects already committed. Then we have athlete Jared Smith. He's 6'4". We're already in the lead on him. I think I'm going to go for him. He's a 91 speed. He has good man, good zone, good catching. Looks like he can definitely play some defense for us, and that's where we obviously need the most help. Then we have Craig Wesley, who's a 70 overall guard. He is a -2. He has more run block than pass block. His pass block isn't really that great. I don't love him, but it'd be nice to grab another lineman. Wide receiver Terrence Smith, he's 5'10". He's only 89 speed. He's really not that impressive. Peter Briggs is a JUCO. We're 750 out on him. He's not overly impressive. I'm not really going to make a big stink on him. Chris Gaines, I would really like. He is a 69 overall corner, but he would be a freshman for us, and he's a +5. Somehow not a gem, but he plays great man coverage. Not a lot of zone coverage, but he's amazing at man coverage, and he has 91 speed. And we do run a lot of man coverage on this team. Then we have Chuck Miller, a defensive end. He's 6'4". He looks like he could really do well on our defensive line and force some fumbles for us, maybe when he's like a, junior redshirt. Then we have Rick Fitzpatrick. He'd be nice to bring in as well. Bob Gates, who I probably won't really go crazy about, as he's much more of a run blocker than a pass blocker, and he's a -3 anyway. And then Andy Davis, who will probably win without putting any points into him, or he'll be one of those guys that just doesn't commit anywhere because we didn't put points into him. But we'll see what happens with those guys. So that's it for your off-season preview and season recap, guys. I will see you guys at the live stream, which will be taking place on Monday, September 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you guys are excited for the third off-season live stream of the Villanova Wildcats Dynasty. We are now going to be heading into season number 4, and maybe big things could happen for this team. Who the heck knows anymore? Let me know what you guys think of season number 3 in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think we should do in the off-season in the comments below. Should we go for Rick Maxwell? Should we go for Hack Sutton? Should we go for Brian Johnson, Tyler McCoy, Jared Smith? Leave the receivers there. I think I'm going to leave the receivers there regardless of what you guys say. No offense, but I don't think we need the receivers. We got plenty of that going on, as well as some super tall guys. Our receiving cores are going to be amazing, and you guys will see that in the live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Don't forget to drop a like. Let's hit at least 25 likes on every video, guys. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys on the off-season live stream Monday night, September 4th at 8 p.m. I'll be setting an event for that probably Sunday or Saturday or Sunday or early Monday, whatever. But you guys will be able to see that. Thank you guys once again, and I will see you guys there